With just 6 months to go until the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, there's more and more scrutiny on the value of France's place, the place that it gives to sports education. And for our focus report, we're going to be looking at athletes like track and field star Stéphane Diagana, who have criticized the government for not taking sport more seriously in schools. And unions, meanwhile, say there needs to be more investment in infrastructure. Now, in the lead up to the Games, French President Emmanuel Macron made a series of announcements aimed at making France a great sporting nation and helping young people to be more active. And while some have welcomed the initiatives, others say they fall short of reaching their goals. Carys, Garland, and Jade, Levin made this report.
Blowing off some steam at the end of a long school day. These primary school students in Bagneux, just outside of Paris, are participating in a taekwondo session. The class is part of a French government initiative that ensures students get at least 30 minutes of daily physical activity. It's a tie-in project of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games and enlists the help of several French athletes to promote sport in schools. Solène Avoulette, a two-time European champion, is one of them.
I think it's a great initiative because not all children are aware that the Olympics are in Paris. And by coming to see them, by learning more with people like me, it's important to get them interested in sports. The Olympic Games might encourage them to sign up or do some physical activity outside of school.
For students, the class seems to have had its desired effect. While it's a success here in Bagneux, the initiative has come under fire from a sports teachers union who says the 30 minutes would be better off being integrated into sports classes, where the focus isn't on the health benefits alone.
We're denouncing this measure because it removes any notion of sports culture. It should be about developing social and physical practices, and that's not the case with this initiative.
Emmanuel Macron's government has made a host of announcements aimed at improving sports in schools ahead of the Olympics, including physical aptitude tests. But the union says this is simply a PR stunt and fails to solve real problems for teachers and students. These include a lack of teaching staff, with more than 2,500 hours of sports classes lost in the last school year, plus a lack of equipment and infrastructure, particularly in the Paris suburb of Saint-Denis, set to host the Olympic Village.
In France, there are 49.6 sport facilities per 10,000 inhabitants. In the Paris region, the figure is 23.4 per 10,000, and it's even less in Seine-Saint-Denis. So we're expecting a lot from the Olympics, especially in terms of sporting facilities, because we can't work without them.
It's not just unions speaking out against France's approach to sport in schools. Athletes have also said the government needs to do more to establish career pathways for professional sport. In the Parisian suburb of Boulogne-Billancourt, one high school is hoping to buck the trend. Charles Doat is in his final year at Simone Weil High School, where he can pursue basketball at a professional level while also following the standard school curriculum.
For school, we have an adapted timetable. We don't have any gaps in our schedule.
For Charles, classes start at 8 a.m., giving him enough time to train at midday and again at 4 p.m. And it's a proven recipe for success. Former student Bilal Koulibaly was picked number 7 in this season's NBA draft. It's a career path many of these young basketballers dream of.
We'll see if I can get an opportunity to continue playing basketball. If I can get professional experience, I'll say yes to that. And I'll still continue my studies too. You can't give up.
Charles says he had to do a fair bit of research to find a specialized basketball program before being able to join through his local sports club. While he acknowledges sport may not have always been prioritized in French education, he says attitudes are changing.
In France, there's the distinction between sport and academic studies, and often they don't go together. But at the moment, they're putting a lot of effort into that, like here, for example.
The school isn't just for promising young talent in basketball, it also offers a rowing program, which is led by Arnaud Fanchon. There are nearly 1,200 of these specialized sports programs in French high schools, though Fanchon believes there should be many more.
Obviously, when you're younger, you dream of being a champion. As the years go by, we realize that there aren't many chosen ones. What's more, we know that students who take up sports at a young age are more likely to continue to do so as adults.
Teachers, students and athletes agree the culture surrounding sports in French schools needs reimagining. And while many believe the government's recent measures aimed at tackling this have missed the boat, there's hope the Paris Olympic Games can still inspire at least wider enthusiasm.
And our guest on this topic is Ayodélé Ikuesan. She's on set with us. Thank you so much for joining us on France 24. You are a French sprinter, an Olympic athlete. You are a vice champion of Europe, very accomplished. You have specialized in the 60 meters and the 4 times 100 meters relay. So quite a lot of accomplishments there. Just watching that report and seeing those kids, what do you think has changed in French education regarding sports, regarding physical education? Is France understanding that it needs to give more space to phys ed?
I'm not sure. I'm not very sure that things have changed since I was small. I think that we're hosting the Olympic Games, and so everyone is now focusing on how can we show that we do much better in sport. So we're having this conversation about having these 30 minutes every day for kids, but they still don't understand that they need to work with sport and physical education teachers, and that we need to work with associative clubs and everyone together, and we should all think of this issue all together in order to help and to make children practice more sport. So,
why is it important for children to practice more sports?
Because you saw in this report just a minute before, they enjoy it. So it's a moment that you play, but you learn things. And we're talking about soft skills, and it's something that is really important. And we saw during the time during the COVID, we were all in our houses. The people were having a lot of mental issues, obesity issues, and we know that sport is a solution. So we need to give more means to sport in school and outside school, so that you have this fun part of practicing sport. You don't need. It's not necessary to talk about high-level athletes or high-level or training to go to the Olympics. Just spending time with friends, with schoolmates, and practicing sport activities, physical activities. And so this is the discussion we're having. So we need more means, and we need to recruit more teachers, and we need to work with high-level athletes so that they can also talk about their journey, when they started, and how it's going on for them, and how they're training to reach that level. But I think it's in some countries, being high-level athlete, it's being cool and it's being smart. And in France, we're still having this discussion and asking ourselves if high-level athletes, are they smart? And this is the main issue that we have.
It's an image problem.
It's a huge problem, because since we are not just promoting high-level athletes, so people are just saying, okay, they're doing sport and it's fine, it's like an hobby. But being a high-level athlete, it's a full-time job. So when you see someone doing art or culture, we promote everything, and you have kids that want to do what they're doing, and it's not the same thing for sport. And I think it's the main discussion that we need to have, because we are hosting the Olympic Games, and we were hoping for some of us that it would change the place of sport in France, but still it did. There's still a lot of things to be done.
It's a long process. You will be competing.
I'm training for it.
You're training for it. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and also for those training sessions. Thank you so much for being our guest today on France 24.